When someone something steady, they are under control. Steady. When someone something steady. To secure something means to get it secure. To secure something, the military, the armed forces of a country. Military. The military is the armed forces of the chest, front of a person's body, under the neck. Chest. The chest, front. If you have confidence about something, you are sure of it. Confidence. If you have a consequence is a result of a choice or action. A consequence is a result of a choice or action. Consequent. Consequence is a result of a choice or a disaster is a really bad thing that happens. A disaster is a really bad thing that happens. Disaster. Disaster is a really bad thing that happens. When someone something steady, they are under control. Steady. When someone a weapon is an object that can be used to hurt. Weapon. A weapon object can be used to secure means get it after a lot of effort. Secure. To secure something means to get it after a lot of effort. The military, the armed forces of a country. Military. Military is the armed force. To disturb means to upset them. Disturb. Disturb. To estimate something means to make a guess about it. Estimate. A consequence is a result of a choice or action. Consequent. A consequence is a result. A disaster is a really bad thing that happens. Disaster. Disaster. When someone something steady, they are under control. Steady. When someone a weapon is an object that can be used to hurt people. Weapon. A weapon is to secure means get it after a lot of effort. To secure something means to get it after a lot of effort. Secure. To the military, the armed forces of a country. Military. Military. When you honor people or things, you show respect for them. Honor. When you honor, to impress means make that person proud. Impress. A disaster is a really bad thing that happens. Disaster. A marathon, a very long foot race, just over 42 kilometers. Marathon. When something narrow, it is very thin. Narrow. When something is pale, it does not have a bright color. Pale. When something is pale, when something rough, it is not even or smooth. Rough. When something is rough, to satisfy someone means to make them happy. Satisfy. To scream means to make a loud noise with your mouth. Scream. When something is sensitive, they are easily hurt. Sensitive. When someone or something is sensitive, the shade, dark area that something makes when it blocks the sun. Shade. The shade, to supplement something, to add something else to it in a good way. To supplement something, to add something else to it in a good way. Supplement. To supplement something. When someone terror, they are scared. Terror. When someone terror. A threat, thing bad that might happen. Threat. A threat, thing. A victim is a person that had something bad happen to them. A victim is a person that had something bad happen to them. Victim. A victim is when something is ill, it does not have a bright color. Pale. When something is ill, it does not have a bright color. An ancestor is a family member from the past. An ancestor is a family member from the past. Ancestor. An ancestor is when something is sensitive, they are easily hurt. Sensitive. When an angle, direction from which you look at something. Angle. To supplement something, to add something else to it in a good way. Supplement. Supplement something is to add something else to it. A boot is a shoe goes over your ankle. Boot. A boot is a shoe. A victim is had something bad happen to them. Victim. A victim is had a border, the edge area. A border, the edge area.
The post.
To congratulate someone, to tell them that you are happy for them. To congratulate someone, to tell them that you are happy for them. Congratulate. Congratulate. Ancestor is a family member from the past. Ancestor. Ancestor is a family member. When something is sensitive, they are easily hurt. Sensitive. When something. Frame is a border for a picture or mirror. Frame. A frame is heaven is the that some people believe people go when they die. Heaven. Heaven is if something is incredible, it is hard to believe they are. If something is incredible, it is hard to believe they are true. Incredible. Someone or some a legend story of the past. Legend. To congratulate someone is to tell them that you are happy for them. Congratulate. To praise is to show that you like someone or something. Praise. To praise is to show that an ancestor is a family member from the past. Ancestor. An ancestor is a family. When something is sensitive, they are easily hurt. Sensitive. When something is sensitive, to proceed to go in a certain direction. Proceed. To proceed if something occurs, it is very clear. If something occurs, it is very clear and beautiful. Pure. If something occurs, it is very clear and beautiful.
The road.
If something is incredible, it is hard to believe they are true. Incredible. If someone or something is incredible, a relative, family member. Relative. A relative, family member. To praise is to show that you like someone or something. Praise. If one is there, they are the oldest or have been there the longest. If one is there, they are the oldest. If one is there, they are the oldest or have been there the longest. If one is there, they are senior. If one is there, they. When someone something is sensitive, they are easily hurt. Sensitive. When if something is pure, it is very clear and beautiful. Pure. If someone something silent, they make no sound. Silent. To sink in things to slow sink. To sink in things to if someone something is incredible, it is hard to believe they are true. Incredible. If someone or something is incredible, a relative, family member. Relative. A relative, family member.
My relative.
If one is there, they are the oldest or have been there the longest. Senior. If one is there, if someone something is superior. Someone or something is superior, they are better than another. To surround something is to close in on it from all sides. Surround. Surround something is to sink in something is to slowly fall into it. Sink. To sink in something is to if something it is wide and solid. Thick. If something wrap is to cover something on all sides. Wrap. If someone or something is incredible, it is hard to believe they are true. Incredible. If someone or something is incredible, it is hard to believe a relative, family member. Relative. A relative. If one is there, they are the oldest or have been there the longest. Senior. If someone something is superior, they are better than another. Superior. Someone to surround thing is to close in on it from all sides. Surround. Surrounds. If someone pulls abroad, they go to another. Abroad. To anger is make them mad. Anger. To anger. A bride, woman getting married, or has just gotten married. Bride. A bride. If something is brief, it only lasts for a short time. Brief. If something is to chase or something, is to follow them in order to catch them. Chase. To chase someone or something is incredible, it is hard to believe they are true. Incredible. To disappoint is to make one feel sad or unsatisfied. Disappoint. Disappoint is to dive, to jump to water. To dive, to jump to water. Dive. To exchange to something for another thing in return. Exchange. A favor is something you do for someone to help them. Favor. A fee is the amount of money that a person or company asks for. Fee. A fee, if something lasts forever, it means it lasts for all time. Forever. A guy is an informal way to call a man. If something is brief, it only lasts for a short time. Brief. If something is brief, it only lasts for a short time. If people or things are lovely, they are good looking or beautiful. Lovely. If people, a mood is someone is feeling. Mood. A palace is a very large building. It is often the home of a royal family. A palace is a very large building. It is often the palace. A palace is a very large building. It is often to permit is to let someone do it. Permit. To permit. To protest something is to argue about it with someone. Protest. To protest. A fee is the amount of money that a person or company. Fee. A sculpture, a piece of art that is made from wood. A sculpture, a piece of art that is made from wood, clay, or stone. Sculpture. A tribe, a group of people who live in the same culture. Tribe. A youth is a time in people's lives when they are young. Youth. Youth is a time to do something on time's basis is how often you do it. Basis. To biology, the study of living things. Biology. Biology. A palace is a very large building. It is often the home of a royal family. Palace. A palace is a very large. To permit is to let someone do it. Permit. A cage is something that holds an animal so it cannot leave. Cage. A sculpture, a piece of art that is made from wood, clay, or stone. Sculpture. A sculpture. Youth is a time in people's lives when they are young. Youth. A colleague, somebody to work with. Colleague. A colleague, somebody to work with. A colony, a country controlled by another country. Colony. A colony, country controlled by another country.
The U.
Biology, the study of living things. Biology. A palace is a very large building. It is often the home of a palace. To debate, to seriously discuss something with someone. To debate, to seriously discuss something with someone. Debate. To debate, to depart, to leave some place so you can go to another place. Depart. To depress someone is to make them sad. Depart. When something actual, it is true. When something actual, it is true. Factual. When something is a colleague, somebody to work with. Colleague. To fasten someone is to make them really like something. To fasten someone is to fascinate. To fascinate someone is to make them really like a mission, important job that is sometimes far away. Mission. Omission, you use the left to show that something goes against a fact. Nevertheless, you use nevertheless to show that something, an occupation, is a person's job. Occupation. An occupation is a person's job. If you go overseas, you go to a country on the overseas. If you go overseas, you go to a country on the to persuade one to make them agree to do something. To persuade one is to make them agree. Persuade. Persuade someone is to make. A route is you go from one place to another. Route. A route is ruins are building are not used anymore. Ruins. Ruin. A scholar person who studies something and knows much about it. Scholar. A scholar is a person. A mission, important job that is sometimes far away. Mission. To fascinate someone is to make them really like something. Fascinate. To fascinate someone is to make. You use the left to show that something goes against a fact. Nevertheless, you an occupation is a person's job. Occupation. If you go overseas, you go to a country on the other side of an ocean. Overseas. To persuade one is to make them agree to do something. Persuade. To persuade someone is to make them agree to. A route is you go from one place to another. Route. A route. Ruins are building are not used anymore. Ruins. A scholar person who studies something and knows much about it. Scholar. To fascinate one is to make them really like something. Fascinate. To fascinate someone with someone or something is significant. They are when something is significant, they are important. Significant. In someone or something is a volcano, a mountain with a hole on top where hot liquid comes out. Volcano. To persuade one is to make them agree to do something. Persuade. A route is you go from one place to another. Route. A route is you go from one place to another. If something is odd, it is wide. Broad. If a bush is planted with many branches. Bush. If something is capable of something, they can do it. Capable. If someone or something to cheat, to be dishonest, so that you can win or do well. Cheat. To cheat, to concentrate on someone or something is to give your full attention. When something is significant, they are important. Significant. To conclude is to arrive at a logical end by looking at evidence. Conclude. To conclude Confident that one believes they can do something without failing. If something is considerable, it is large in considerable. If something is considerable, it is large in size, amount, or extent. To convey, to communicate, or make ideas known. Convey. To convey is to communicate. If something is definite, it is certain or sure. Definite. If something is definite, it is certain or sure to be true. Delight is a feeling of being very happy with something. Delight. Delight is a destination, the place where someone or something is going to. Destination. Destination is the place where to dictate thing is to read it aloud so it can be written down. Dictate. To dictate edge of something is the part of it that is farthest edge. A path is from one place to another that people can walk. Path. To resort thing is to depend. To resort thing is to depend on it. To resort thing is to depend on it in order to solve a resort. To resort something is considerable, it is large in size, amount, or extent. To convey is to communicate or convey. To convey is if something is definite, it is certain or sure to be true. If something is definite, it is certain or sure to be true. Definite. If something is definite, it is certain or sure. A shadow, dark area that is made when something blocks light. Shadow. A shadow. To succeed is to complete something that you planned or tried to do. Succeed. To suspect thing is to believe that it is true. To suspect thing is suspect. To suspect something, a valley is a area of land between two mountains. Valley. A valley is a area of land. To admire one is to like them for what they do. Admire. To someone is to help them when they need aid. To aid is to help them when they need to attempt to try to do that thing. Attempt. Authority, the power that someone has because of their position. Authority. Authority, if something is definite, it is certain or sure to be true. Definite. If something is definite, it is shadow is the dark area that is made when something blocks light. Shadow. A shadow, a capital is an important city where a country's leaders live and work. A capital, important city where a country's leaders live and work. Capital. A capital, to expect something is to believe that it is true. Suspect. A valley is a area of land between two mountains or hills. Valley. Of to cooperate is to work together to do something. Cooperate. To aid someone is to help them when they aid. To defend one or something is to protect them from attack. Defend. Defend someone or something is to authority, the power that one has because of their position. Authority. Authority, if something is definite, it is certain or sure to be true. Definite. If destruction, damage to something so bad that it can't be fixed. Destruction. Destruction. A capital, important city where a country's leaders live and work. Capital. A capital important. Destruction, damage to something so bad that it can't be fixed. Destruction. Destruction is to concentrate on someone or something is to give your full attention. Concentrate. To concentrate. Disorder or a complete mess. Disorder. Disorder is a lack, a division, the act of making smaller groups out of a larger one. Division. To enable is make it possible for them to do something. Enable. To frustrate, to prevent someone from fulfilling their desire. To is to prevent someone from fulfilling their desire. To govern, control the public business of a country, state, or city. Govern. To govern, to have plenty of something is to have more than you need. To have plenty of something, to relieve is to make them feel less pain. Relieve. To relieve someone is to reputation is the opinion. Destruction, damage to something so bad that it can't be fixed. Destruction. Royal something belongs to a king or queen. Royal. Royal to concentrate on someone or something is to give your full attention. Concept. Order is lack of order or a complete mess. Disorder is lack of order or a complete mess. Disorder. To frustrate is to prevent someone from fulfilling their desire. To frustrate, to prevent someone from fulfilling their desire. Frustrate. To have something is to have more than you need. Plenty. To govern, control the public business of a country, state, or city. To govern, control the public business of a country, state, or govern. To relieve is to make them feel less pain. Relieve. Reputation is the opinion that people have about someone. Reputation. A slave person is not free and must work for someone else. Slave. A slave to struggle, fight against someone or something. Struggle. To struggle is to fight against. When someone is good, they lack intelligence. Stupid. When someone citizen is someone who lives in a certain town or city. A citizen, someone lives in a citizen. A citizen is someone who lives in a certain town or city. A council, group of people who run a city or town. Council. A council. To declare is to say something officially. Declare. To declare is to say something officially.
I declare love him.
Reputation, the opinion that people have about someone. Reputation. When people things are enormous, they are very large. Enormous. When people to struggle, fight against someone or something. Struggle. When someone something are extraordinary, they are extraordinary. When someone or something are extraordinary, They are amazing.
The fire rescued the girl was extraordinary.
A citizen, someone who lives in a certain town or city. Citizen. Fog is a cloud that near the ground or water. Fog, thick cloud that is fog. Fog, a funeral ceremony that takes place. Funeral. A funeral ceremony that takes place after a person dies.
They had a feast for the soldier who died during the war.
When people are giant, they are very big. When people or things are giant, they are very big. Giant. When people are an impression, a way of thinking about someone or something. Impression. Income is how much money a person or business makes. Income. When someone mad, they are angry. Mad. When someone mad, they are angry. If someone ought to do something, then it is the right thing to do. Ought. If someone ought to do something, then it is the right thing to do. When someone or something are extraordinary, they are amazing. Extraordinary. When someone or something are extraordinary, they are. A funeral ceremony takes place after a person dies. Funeral. To resist is to fight against it. Resist. To resist something. To reveal is to show something. Reveal. To reveal, when people are giant, they are very big. Giant. When to rid is make a place free from something or someone. Rid. To rid is a sword, long, sharp weapon. A sword, long, sharp weapon. Sword. A sword is a long. Someone mad, they are angry. Mad. When a tail, story. A tail, story. Tail. A tail, story.
She told friends about
To trap animals is to capture them so they cannot get away. Trap. To trap animals is to. When someone or something are extraordinary, they are amazing. Extraordinary. When someone or something are to reveal is to show something. Reveal. To reveal a tale, story. Tale. A trial whale discovers if a person is guilty or innocent. Trial. A trial whale discovers if a person is guilty or innocent.
went on trial for robbing the bank.
When people are violent, they want to hurt someone. Violent. Admission is to belong to enter a place. Admission. To trap animals is to capture them so they can trap. Astronomy studies the stars and planets. Astronomy studies the stars and planets. Astronomy. Astronomy is when someone or something are extraordinary, they are amazing. Extraordinary. To blame someone for something bad is to say they did it. Blame. Chemistry is study of and reaction to substances. Chemistry. If something happens despite what you do, it happens anyway. Despite. If something happens despite what you do, it happens anyway. A dinosaur is a very big animal that lived. Dinosaur. A dinosaur is a very big animal that lived millions of years ago.
I like to see dinosaur bones at the museum.
An exhibit displays of interesting things. Exhibit. An exhibit displays of interesting things.
There was an apple exhibit at the fair.
Fame is reputation one has gained among the public. Fame. Forecast is an idea about what the weather will be like in the a forecast an idea about what the weather will be like in the future. Forecast. A genius, very smart person. Genius. A genius is a very smart person. Someone who is gentle, kind, and calm. Gentle. Someone who is gentle, kind, and calm. If something happens despite what you do, it happens anyway. Despite. If something happens despite what you do, it happens anyway.
We still
An exhibit displays interesting things. An exhibit displays a dinosaur is a very big animal that lived millions of years ago. Dinosaur. Dinosaur is a very big animal that lived millions of years ago. Geography study where things are. Geography. To interfere, cause problems, and keep something from happening. Interfere. To interfere, to cause problems. A genius, very smart person. Genius. A genius is a very smart person. To do something is to not push very hard. Lightly. To do something. A principal is a person in principal. A principal is a person in charge of a school.
my school principal.
If something happens to what you do, it happens anyway. Spite. If something happens to what you do, it happens anyway. A dinosaur is a very big animal that lived millions of years ago. Dinosaur. Dinosaur to interfere, to cause problems, and keep something from happening. Interfere. To interfere is to cause. A row is a thing. Row. A row. A genius, very smart person. A genius, very smart person. Genius. A genius is a very smart person. A principal is a person in charge of a school. Principal. A principal is a person in charge of a school. Shelf, a place on a wall where you put things. Shelf. If you do out of spot, you want to be mean. Spite. If you do out of spot, you want to be mean.
He snuck in his sister's room and stole her bag out of spite.
A row is a things. Row. To interfere, cause problems, and keep something from happening. Interfere. To super meekly go. Super. Soup. If something it has water on it. Wet. If something is to abuse one or something. Means to abuse one or something. Means to hurt them on purpose. Abuse. A principal is a person in charge of a school. Principal. A principal for something means you have enough money to pay for it. Afford. To afford something means to bake means to cook food with heat. To bake means to cook food with heat. Bake. To bake means to cook food. A bean is a seed that is good to eat. A bean is a seed that is good to eat. A bean is a seed that is good to eat. Bean. A bean is a seed that is a candle stick of wax that is lit on fire. Candle. To convert means change it into something else. Convert. To convert means change it. A debt out of money that a person owes. Debt. A debt to abuse one or something means to hurt them on purpose. Abuse. To abuse one or something means to hurt. To decrease is to get less than it was before. Decrease. Decrease something is a fault. A fund is a amount of money that people have. Fund. A fund. When someone is generous, they like to give things to people. Generous. When someone is generous, an ingredient thing is part of a food dish. Ingredient. An ingredient is something that is part of, to insist, to be firm in telling people what to do. Insist. Insist means to be firm in telling people what to do. A mess is a condition that is not clean or neat. Mess. A mess is a debt out of money that a person owes. Debt. The strong material people use. Metal. To monitor people or things is to watch them closely. Monitor. To monitor people or things is to watch them closely.
The teacher.
To decrease is to get less than it was before. Decrease. To decrease something. To oppose means to dislike it or act against it. Oppose. To oppose means to dislike it or act when someone is like to give things to people. Generous. When someone is An ingredient, thing that is part of a food dish. Ingredient. An ingredient is something that is part of a food dish. To insist, to be firm in telling people what to do. Insist. To insist means if a person is sick, they do not take action to solve problems. Passive. If a person a debt amount of money that a person owes. Debt. A debt, a quantity, a certain amount of something. Quantity. A quantity, a certain amount of something.
I have a small quantity of milk in my glass.
To monitor or things is to watch them closely. Monitor. To monitor or things is to watch them close. To sue is to take them to court for something wrong. Sue. To sue is to take them to court for something. When someone has anxiety, they have a lot of worries and fear. When someone has anxiety, they have a lot of worries and fear. Anxiety. When someone has anxiety, to insist, to be firm in telling people what to do. Insist. To insist means an army is a group of people who fight in wars. Army. An army is a to monitor or things is to watch them closely. Monitor. To monitor or things is to a billion, a very large number. Billion. A billion. To carve, to cut it something. To carve, to cut it something. Carve. To carve, to cut it something.
My father.
When someone has anxiety, they have a lot of worries and fear. Anxiety. When someone has anxiety, to consult one means to ask them for help. Consult. To consult one means an emergency time someone needs help right away. Emergency. Emergency is a time when someone fortunate. It means they have luck. Fortune. When someone fortunate. To monitor or things is to watch them closely. Monitor. To monitor or to guarantee means to know something will happen. Guarantee. Guarantee means to know something will happen.
I guarantee the sun will come up in the morning.
To carve, to cut it something. To carve, to carve. To carve, to cut. When someone has anxiety, they have a lot of worries and fear. Anxiety. When someone has a time when someone needs help right away. Emergency. An emergency is a to hike, walk the mountains or forest. Hike. To hike, walk. When something is initial, it is the first thing. When something is initial, it is the first thing. Initial. When something is initial, it is the first thing. If something is intense, it is very strong. Intense. If something is intense, it is very strong. To guarantee means to know something will happen. Guarantee. To guarantee means to know. To lend is to give it to someone for a short time. Lend. To lend something. The peak, very top of a mountain. Peak. The peak, the very top of a mountain. When someone has anxiety, they have a lot of worries and fear. Anxiety. Potential capable being, but potential. Potential capable being, but not yet in existence.
I've thought of potential problems with your idea.
When you are happy with yourself. When you are happy with yourself. When you are happy with yourself. Pride. When you are happy with yourself. When something is initial, it is the first thing. Initial. When something is intense, it is very strong. Intense. If to guarantee means to know something will happen. Guarantee. Guarantee. The peak, very top of a mountain. Peak. The peak, to lend something is to give it to someone for a short time. Lend. To lend. Potential capable being, but not yet. Potential. Potential capable being, but when you are happy with yourself. Pride. When you have to guarantee means to know something will happen. Guarantee. Guarantee means to know something is a that proof. Proof is a that shows something is real.
They used his
To quit something is to stop doing it. Quit. To quit something is to stop doing it.
I quit.
To spin, turn around in circles. To spin, turn around in circles. Spin. To spin is to lend is to give it to someone for a short lend. People or things are tiny. They are very small. Tiny. When people are potential capable of being, but not yet in existence. Potential. Potential means a tutorist who gives lessons in a certain subject. Tutor. A tutorist who gives when you have happy with yourself. Pride. When you something is apparent, it is easy to see. If something is apparent, it is easy to see. Apparent. If something is apparent, it is easy to guarantee means to know something will happen. Guarantee. To guarantee is a fact that shows something is real. Proof. Proof is a fact to spin, turn around in circles. Spin. To spin, turn around. When people are blind, they cannot see. When people are blind, they cannot see. Blind. When people are potential means capable of being but not yet in existence. Potential. Potential means capable a tutorist who gives lessons in a certain subject.
Cái bộ tới tôi bộ hai cho mình hát chỗ.
Tutor. A tutorist who gives lessons. If something is apparent, it is easy to see. Apparent. If something is apparent, it is to guarantee me to know something will happen. Guarantee. Guarantee. Proof is a that shows something is real. Proof. Proof is when people are blind, they cannot see. When people are blind, they cannot see. Blind. When to calculate is to find an answer using math. Calculate. To chat is to talk to someone. Chat. To chat, to commit something is to promise to do it. Commit. To commit something is to promise. To complete something is to make it from smaller parts. Compose. To compose something. If something is apparent, it is easy to see. Apparent. If something is apparent, to guarantee means to know something will happen. Guarantee. To guarantee means a dormitory is a school building where students live. Dormitory. Dormitory is a school building where students live.
I will move the dormitory at the beginning of the school year.
To exhaust is to make them tired. Exhaust. Exhaust someone is to make them tired.
John exhausted himself by swimming all day.
A dormitory is a school building where students live. Dormitory. Dormitory is a greenhouse, small glass building that is used to grow plants. Greenhouse. To ignore is to act like you do not see or hear it. Ignore. To ignore something obvious, it is clear and easily seen. Obvious. If something is obvious, it is physics is science that deals with energy and how it affects things. Physics. Physics is a portion of something is a part of it. A portion of something is a part of it. Portion. A portion of something is a part of it. To remind someone is to tell them to remember to do something. Remind. Remind someone is a secretary is a person who works in an office. Secretary. Secretary is a person who works. A dormitory is a school building where students live. Dormitory. Dormitory is a school. If something is severe, it is very severe. If something is severe, it is very bad, or if someone is talented, they are naturally able to do it well. Talent. If someone is talented, if something is obvious, it is clear and easily seen. Obvious. If something a thesis idea that needs to be proved. Thesis. A thesis idea that needs to be. A uniform is a piece of clothing worn by people of the same group. Uniform. A portion of thing is part of it. Portion. A portion. Vision is the act of seeing. Vision. Vision. A dormitory is a school building where students live. Dormitory. Dormitory is a secretary is a person who works in an office. Secretary. The secretary. If something is here, it is very bad or serious. Severe. To absorb means take it inside. Absorb. A thesis idea that needs to be proved. Thesis. A thesis. A boss is in charge of other people at work. Boss. A committee of people who meet together to make decisions. A committee of people who meet together to make decisions. Committee. A committee of people who meet together to make decisions. A portion of thing is part of it. Portion. A portion of contract is a written agreement between two people. Contract. A crew is workers. Crew. A crew is workers.
My father crew. They help him build houses.
A secretary is a person who works in an office. Secretary. A committee of people who meet together to make decisions. Committee. A committee to devote time to something is to spend a lot of time doing it. Devote. To devote. To dig a hole in the ground. Dig. To dig. To dine means to eat dinner. Dine. To dine means to donate is to give something to a charity or organization. Donate. To donate is to give something. If something is full, it is twice as much, or twice as many. Double. If something is to elevate, is to put it at a higher level. Elevate. To a flavor, taste of food or drinks. Flavor. A flavor. Foundation is the group that provides money for research. Foundation. A generation is a group of people who live at the same time. Generation. A handle is part of an object people hold while using. Handle. A layer cover something or is between two things. Layer. A layer. Mud is wet dirt. Mud is soft, wet dirt. Mud. Mud is To dig, make a hole in the ground. Dig. If something is smooth, it has no bumps. Smooth. If soil is layer land on the earth. Soil. Soil is layer. If people and things are unique, they are not like the others. Unique. If people or a chamber, old word for bedroom. Chamber. A chamber is to deny is to say it is not true. Deny. To deny something. A document, official piece of writing. Document. A document is an official piece of writing. To emphasize is to give importance. Emphasize. To emphasize is to give a fever, high body temperature that people get when there's fever. The flu is a sickness that makes you feel weak or your body hurt. Flu. The flu is to freeze, become very cold. Freeze. A gesture, the movement of the hands or body. Gesture. A gesture. Soil is layer, land on the earth. Soil. Soil is to interrupt, to briefly stop someone when they are doing something. Interrupt. Interrupt. To last, continue or go on for an amount of time. Last. To last. A chamber, old word for a bedroom. Chamber. To deny is to say it is not true. Deny. To deny. Likeness, state being like or resemblance. Likeness. A document, official piece of writing. Document. A document to emphasize is to give importance or attention to something. Emphasize. To emphasize is to give importance or attention to something.
She emphasized the key points by circling them in red ink.
A fever, high body temperature that people fever. A fever, a gesture, the movement of the hands or gesture. A gesture to interrupt is to briefly stop someone when they are doing something. Interrupt. To interrupt. To last, continue or go on for an amount of time. Last. To last. Moreover, besides or in addition to something. Moreover. Moreover means be a perspective is the way you think about something. Perspective. When something is rational, it is normal or practical. Rational. When something recover is to go back to normal after something bad happens. Recover. To recover, to rely on something or someone is to trust or depend on them.